So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
You're not ready. Check three.
A run for Nick Chubb. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Darnold. His throw incomplete. Credit that breakup to Greedy Williams. With that matchup, the adjustment that was made, you have a blazing guy on a blazing guy, and defensively, he won that battle.
The closing speed is the key. When you have a guy that fast and he can close at the end of a play and knock it away, that's a big deal, and we just saw him do it right there.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson, 87 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over. This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. The Browns drive about to get started. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And an alley to run. Pushing through tacklers at the 30. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you get
accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and it's now 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Felt, of course, 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving. And a nice move will yield nothing as he stopped behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Mike 29. Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field. 29.
From the 50, it's Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
Go.
Here's Darnold. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Now Landry. Spinning away. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hurry! Watch quick!
Now Chubb. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's going to look deep now for Landry. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, 78 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. And they'll start out here with a jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
on a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
He finds his target. It's Crowder. A good pickup there at 22.
Mike, 56, right there, 56. Keep it up, defense, keep it up, guys. That's all right.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen! 50 wants the mic. 50. Hey, Zoo. Pick it up.
They're going to go. It's Darnold. On the catch, it's Crowder. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a big run that time by Bell. 43 yards. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Le'Veon Bell. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and it converted a 2nd time for 6 points.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get...
And this will be caught at the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. This is caught. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Jim, point it right, point it right, point it right. Check 15, check 15. Run.
They'll give it to Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb as the first half is winding down. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Hey, Echo.
A final shot before the break. Darnold. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
And an alley to run. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards. They run again on first down, Chubb. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
At the 46-yard line.
Alert, alert!
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. That's out to Chubb, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Mayfield looks to throw. Fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half-court.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. That'll bring up second down. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Bell. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw, Darnold under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Joe Schobert drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up fourth down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack, but he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. A give running right is Chubb. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Chubb. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
You go tight. Hurry! You got tight right there. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Hurry! 57 to Mike. Hurry! Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. One touch.
On the ground, it's Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. His second touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. From the 27, Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Darnold from the gun. And he's got a noon one. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. This is Bell. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup.
From just shy of midfield, Darnold. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 39. Darnold now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now it's Darnold. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
61.
Darnold from the red zone now. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Quincy Enunwa, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. Point after, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Steve McClendon, credit him for the sack. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back, and they did a great job in the...
They've got his man complete. It's a big play there for the Browns. 58 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. On the carry, it's Chubb. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And again, it's Chubb. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Mayfield. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Steinberg's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score
and for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Alabama, Mack Wilson. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. He couldn't hook up with Enunwa that time. first down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Mayfield now. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 21 yards there on 3rd down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it? As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling, but inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week. Boss man. Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants him to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? For a lot of coaches, be honest, don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here. Use that as ammo going forward. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because you're not going to want that feeling again. No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw is Darnold. He can run for it, and he will. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. A first down throw, Darnold. Nunez got it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Darnold now to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Darnold. He's going to let it fly. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense. They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them. And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work. That's called being in the zone. So for Cleveland, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.